5, 4, 3, 2.
Yugi Bros! Today I want to quickly go over a set that never actually made it legal into Speed Duels. However, most of its cards have actually been printed in Speed Duels to this point, and that is the Demo Speed Dueling Kit. This is actually interesting that this exists. The reason I want to bring this up now, 4 years later, is because its original release was October of 2017, and it had basically 107 cards to basically demo the idea of Speed Duels to different stores. Now, this didn't get much publicity, and obviously Speed Duels as a whole in the beginning wasn't very popular, so this has kind of flown under the radar for a very long time. But the Speed Duel Dueling Kit was a beta play set sent out to interested stores in October of 2017 as a part of the Speed Dueling event, intended to solicit feedback from players and organizers for the upcoming Speed Duel event. The cards in these decks were never intended for distribution to players, and as such have no foiling or even an Eye of Anubis hologram in the bottom corner. Though there is a space for the card as it is right next to the copyright that was actually on the card. In addition, the printing on the faces is noticeably lighter than on the cards intended for distribution, though their backings are indistinguishable from other cards. Unlike Speed Duel cards released later on, these cards did not have a Speed Duel branding printed on them, so they look like normal cards, except they don't have the Eye of Anubis and they're not foil, and the ink, for example, was printed a lot lighter on the card. Now, like I said, this wasn't overly popular and it didn't get very far. The participation for the speed dueling events was very low, and I mean, rightfully so. There's been a lot of talk in the beginning as how they kind of mismanaged the introduction of speed duels, and they've kind of fixed it since then. But there are cards from this box that were never actually reprinted into the game, and all of which I think I could see in the GX box. Now, some of them are completely irrelevant and don't really fit in the box going forward, but I'm just going to go across all of the cards that were in this box anyways, because over time we've gotten the cards in this box printed scattered randomly in different products. So the first one is Harpy Lady, just the normal monster. We actually never got this. And I'm actually kind of surprised we never did. This is a card that easily should probably go into the game, even though it probably won't do anything at this point. We're all just going to play the better versions like Cyber Harpy Lady 1, for example. But nevertheless, that was one of the cards we never got. Jenkin Bakudan was another one. This is a level 2 Fire Pyro Flip effect that says, after this card is flipped, offer it as a tribute during your standby phase to destroy all monsters on your side of the field and inflict direct damage equal to half of the total of the attack of the destroyed cards to your opponent's life points. Now, this obviously doesn't have problem-solving card text. It would be a lot simpler to read going forward, but basically it blows your entire board of monsters, yours only, and inflicts damage to your opponent equal to the combined attack, equal to half of the combined attack, I should say, to your opponent. Axe Giant Mummy was another one. It's level 5 zombie effect, 17 attack, 2000 defense. That says you can flip this card face down defense position once per turn during your main phase. Now, to save you the trouble of reading the next line of text, which is so screwed up without problem-solving card text, basically, if your opponent then attacks into it while it's face down and its defense exceeds their attack, their attacking monster is destroyed. Bladefly, a level 2 wind insect effect, 600 attack, 700 defense. As long as this card remains face up on the field, increase the attack of all wind monsters by 500 points and decrease the attack of all earth by 400. We could have had this. This would have been perfectly fine in the game. Millennium Scorpion, level 5 insect effect, earth, 2000 attack, 18 defense. Each time this card destroys one monster on your opponent's side of the field by battle and sends it to the graveyard, it gains 500 attack. Would have been perfectly okay. Give a little insect a little extra support. Toon Goblin Attack Force. I've previously stated that Toons definitely need more beat sticks in previous videos, and Toon Goblin Attack Force was actually one I featured in one of my prediction videos. We never actually got it, but this would be really good for the game, where it's just 2300 0. It has the same effect as Goblin Attack Force, where if it attacks, it goes to defense at the end of the battle phase, and its position cannot be changed until your next turn, but as a Toon, of course. Dark Coffin, this would have probably been used before we got Waking the Dragon, whereas when this card says, when this face-down card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, your opponent selects and executes one of the following effects. God, I miss the days of non-PSCT. This is more like PCCT, problem-causing card text. Discard one random card in their hand or select one monster on their field and destroy it. Would have been interesting in the side deck, probably. Curse of Aging, normal trap. Discard 1 card from your hand. Decrease the attack and defense of all monsters your opponent's side of the field by 500 points until the end of the turn this card was activated. That would have probably been good in the first set or two, and then probably finally phased out over time, but still, something we never got. Chain Destruction, a card I kind of wish we did get, which is a normal trap. This is when a monster with 2,000 or less attack is summoned, monster or monsters I should say. Target one of them, destroy all cards with that card's name in the controller's hand and main deck. Depending on the matchup, this actually could have been really, really good to have. So it's definitely not a card out of the realm of possibilities to get in the future. I kind of hope we do get it. This is a really solid card in my opinion, at least in Speed Duels meta, and I think this would be really cool in specific formats. Statue of the Wicket is a card I fully expect to get because Dr. Crowler used this in Episode 1 of Yu-Gi-Oh! GX to summon his Ancient Gear Golem. When this face-down card is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you special summon 1 Wicket token, Fiend type, Dark, level 4, attack and defense 1,000 to your side of the field. So basically you facilitate things that pop your cards to summon free monsters or free tokens, I should say, for tributes for bigger monsters. That's how he summoned his Ancient Gear Golem. We have plenty of cards in Speed Duels that currently pop our own things. Storm is definitely one I can think of off the top of my head. So this would be a cool way to get free tribute fodder on your field. But also, at the very least, you get to summon free 1,000 attack monsters, which is also nice. Do I think Statue of the Wicket will be good nowadays? Probably not, but still something. Follow Wind is an equipped spell that gives Wing Beast monsters 300 attack and defense. Mystic Moon is the same thing, but for Beast Warriors. Mystic Box is a card which I think is really interesting. I'm surprised we never got this, where you target one monster your opponent controls and one monster you control. Destroy the first target and give the control of the second target to your opponent. This is a normal spell that definitely could see come up in future things. It's not really creature swap so much as it's you destroy your opponent's card and give them something, but most of the time you'll probably give them something weaker. Could definitely see like this be tacked with Apprentice Magician for sure. Now Fusion Sage is a big one. I expect to get this in the GX era. Jaden plays this card a lot in the anime, where it just simply adds polymerization from your deck to your hand. We already have polymerization. Why not get the Rota for the polymerization? King of the Swamps is another option, which also can be used as the fusion substitute for a specific fusion. I don't know if they'll give us both, though, in 20 to 30 card speed duel format. That's kind of a lot of consistency when it comes to polymerization. And the last one that I find is very interesting that was in this demo kit is actually Fusion Substitute. This card's name is always treated as polymerization, so this in your deck will be polymerization, so you can't play like 3 copies of this and 3 polymerization. You'd have to choose between 3 copies of either or 1 to 2, 2 to 1, whatever. But Fusion Substitute is only, I think, like 5 years old. So I was really shocked to see this in the demo kit, the beta demo for Speed Duels. But it's Fusion Summon 1 Fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion material. This does not include the hand like regular polymerization, so keep that in mind. But the upside is you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target a fusion monster in your grave, return it to the extra deck, then draw 1 card. So you get recursion with your fusions, especially in a format where you only have a 6-card extra deck. If you need to recur fusions and you don't want to waste so much space, this is definitely powerful for that. And it gives you an extra draw. I could definitely see that being a card as well. And obviously, since we're going into GX format, which is mainly all fusions, why would we not get something like Fusion Substitute, another version of polymerization to mess around with? Totally could see this card come over as well. So guys, this was the Speed Duel demo kit that came out approximately 4 years ago as of next week. I obviously can see like something like this, and this coming into the game. Maybe this for Toons, but everything else has kind of like lost its luster. I would actually like to see Mystic Box. I think there's a lot of cool things you can do with that. And I expect to see something like this because Crowler played it. And I mean, where's the love, man? Why don't we have Harpy Lady? On that note, how come we've never gotten to this card? How come this is not in Speed Duels? Please leave your comments in down below as to why we've never gotten Summon Skull and Black Skull Dragon. But as always, comment, like, and subscribe. I will be bringing you more GX videos over the horizon. I've just had to space them out for the next 5 months between now and the release of the GX box, but please believe me, I've got many video coming talking about this GX box and what character cards I expect to see. But until then, I bid you adieu for now, and I will see you guys in the next video.